Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Subscriber Dynasty. We are in the off season. I actually forced everybody to stay with their current schools. And we're moving along quickly, man. Typically the coach carousel takes us a week or two just to get through it, but since we're resetting after this next season, I just decided to force everybody to stay. So we're into the recruiting. I'm looking pretty good. I'm happy with my recruits thus far this season, man. We've recruited our butt off. Yet again, only have 5 scholarships left. I'm thinking we're in the top, probably the top 3 recruit-wise. I put a couple points on a quarterback and a center that I don't really need, but I'm going after anyways. Because I got a free safety, a corner, athlete, just go on down the list, man. A lot of people I don't even need. I just got them since nobody else could take them. You know what I mean? Just tore it up recruiting-wise. Very happy with how that played out. And as far as I know, everybody's ready. We're on our one day per advance schedule, so we can get into the next season as soon as possible. So we're going to advance real quick, see how everybody else did, and we'll be right back. I just got done with the advance into signing day. I think only Pride Leader Stanford was online. I mean, this is really late actually than the normal. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning my time, so I don't know when everybody else's time is, but pretty late. But we're advancing it into signing day. Let's check out and see who everybody else got. I think I got the center. I did not get the quarterback, which it is what it is, man. I'm happy with the team I got. I am going to kind of sneak peek my team because that's the advantage I have. Wide receiver, whatever. Wasn't really needing that guy. Defensive tackle, wasn't really needing him. Halfback, I mean, these are all 67s or lower. It's like not really worth it. New Mexico State got a pretty good quarterback, I think, for them. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but it is what it is. Michigan State steals a corner from me by 100 points, man. But I got the center. That's pretty cool. He's a JUCO. I don't know if he'll play or not, but I'll see what I could do. Let's check out the top classes. I'm pretty sure I'm number 1. Oh, number 2, Notre Dame sneaks up there, but they got 14 4-stars. So Notre Dame going to be a force to be reckoned with next year. And I'm number 2. LSU had a pretty good recruiting class. Or it's going to kind of go through it real quick. 2 5-stars, a couple of 4-stars. His team's going to look pretty good coming into that next year. I'm anxious to see how everybody else does this next season, if they recruit or not, since we're restarting. Missouri got 3 5-stars. Wow. A lot of athletes. I mean, these would be really good players to have in a couple of years. It's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, it's pretty cool to see the caliber players these guys are getting with the competition of other users, especially Florida, Missouri, LSU. That's all the SEC. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys down there to pick from, but that's all competition that they got to recruit against. With Tennessee at number 13, I mean, that's all SEC except for me out of the users that are looking for ranked. He got 4 5-star players. I mean, I can't scroll down, but he got really good players. The 1-stars he didn't get, I can almost guarantee you that. That's not his style by any means. He's not a 1-star kind of guy unless they're gyms or something. West Virginia got some pretty good guys. A lot of wide receivers, man. A lot of wide receivers. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. That's for dang sure. I wish there was a way I could just sort by user team, but the rank would still stay the same. Michigan State, he got a pretty good recruiting class also. Khalil Mack, that's what I wanted to call him. I don't know if that's who it is or not. I highly doubt it, but that's what I'm going to call him because it sounds cool. Stanford, he had a pretty good recruiting class also for coming in, and some of these guys they don't have the same advantage that about half the guys do have when it comes to recruiting. So them being in the top 50 without that advantage is still pretty good. North Carolina ended up recruiting pretty good. A lot of receivers, a lot of athletes, linebackers. Recruit to your strength, man, however you play. I just recruit to fill positions. I should recruit to how I play. That would probably be smarter. But you will see how I recruit in the offline dynasty. I'm putting up that separate video whenever I get done with that season, so you could see my methodology, my mentality when I go in to recruit. Nothing super special. I mean, I just know what I want and I go get them. It's harder whenever you're a weaker school, but sometimes it pays off. It gets the job done, and you can get some good recruits. I think we have Mid-Tennessee State, but he is a coordinator. He took the job as a coordinator, didn't realize it at the time. So he's kind of at a disadvantage being a coordinator. But we're resetting, so it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, if we were to keep going for a couple more years, then yeah, he probably would have taken another team, been able to go somewhere else. But since we're resetting, it's not that big of a deal. At least not to me. It might be to him. At least not to me. We're gonna fix that soon. We're gonna remedy that situation. So there's the recruiting thus far. We're gonna advance it into position changes. I don't know if I'll show that. I will definitely show the training results for the guys that aren't online at the time to see that. And then preseason, man. This is gonna be a really short video. Typically, I show like the who switched schools and all that, but it's gonna be a pretty short compared to the usual. But we're ready to get the season rolling, man. The guys are excited. It's the last season. They're gonna play balls to the wall and be pumped. That's for dang sure. So we're gonna advance it to the next stage. We'll see you guys at training results. All right, let's get done with the position changes onto the training results, and I am very sad we are resetting. Dahl, my quarterback, is a 99 overall, and he's a junior, man. Look at that, 98 speed, 96 acceleration, 99 acceleration, 96 agility. That dude is going to be great this year. I just need to make sure I win games. But running through it real quick, I'll probably fast forward through all these. I'm going to try to do my best to get through everybody's. So hopefully I can make that happen. There were a couple of guys that wanted to hop on whenever they were watching it. Or whenever we advanced it. So I made sure that they were on. We're actually running way late, typically like way later than what we usually do whenever we advance it. But it is what it is. It's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you take a long time to advance. Sometimes you don't. So this is for everybody that wants to see it. Everybody in the Dynasty that was not online whenever we advanced it. This is our current setup. This is how we're rolling. This is what we're looking for going into the last season before the reset. Now there has been a couple of like guesses for it. I would hope that you guys don't guess it. I'm excited for it. I know the Italian knows what it is, and potentially one, maybe two more people, but that's about it. We want to try to keep it as secret as possible because I'm excited for it. But we still got to get through this year first. This year's going to be a baller year because I assume everybody's just going to be like having fun with it, just messing around, trying to get awards and stuff like that. I know I am. I want to be looking to try to get awards. That's my objective. 99 overall quarterback there. Try to get some awards and come out with a national championship, man. There's only been a couple people that wanted their schedules a certain way. I wanted to play a certain number of users. Which is all good, man. Like that's usual. Like we usually get about 3 or 4 that request certain people, and that's fine. After that, then I try to make it to their request as possible. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes it is. But it's a work in progress, man. We're getting there. We're having a blast with it, and I know everybody's excited for this season. And I mentioned on the Wise Guy Variety Show on Monday nights, we live stream. I was talking to the Italian as well as the guys, which are some of them here in the Dynasty. I was like, I wonder how many people are going to recruit this year. Just because what's the point? You know what I mean? We're resetting, so there's not really a reason to recruit, but I'm anxious to see who actually does. Just because, like I said, there's no reason to. It's just for giggles, man. That's all it's for. There's no real point to it. You're not going to get to play with anybody. I mean, unless you just want to practice your recruiting strategy, and that's cool. That's understandable. That's just how it goes sometimes. I probably will, just because, like I just said, I want to practice my recruiting strategy, make sure it's good. Missouri with the 90s, golly. so far, I think Missouri's got the lead in overall. Sheesh. It's 90s for days. Got all kinds of players. I actually went through, and a lot of the people that weren't going to play this year, or I pretty much, if I had 2 people that were good and the third was all right, I'm pretty much going to cut the third one. Just because I don't want to keep them on my roster. There's no point. I want my team to look like they're legit. And a lot of my backups are set to be pretty good. And it looks like a lot of these guys, their teams are set that way as well. We're going to have really good teams this year overall in the Dynasty, so it's going to be fun, man. Going to be fun playing it, and I'm already looking forward to it. And I've mentioned before, and I'll mention again, as much as you guys probably don't want to see it year in and year out, I am going to play West Virginia. By the time this comes out, the schedules will already be made, and we'll probably already be done with week 1. I am playing West Virginia. I want to continue to play him until I beat him, and then once I beat him, I'll probably never play him again. That's just my objective, man. That's my goal in this Dynasty. is I want to try to beat everybody at least once whenever they play. Sometimes that's not possible because they don't last in the dynasty long enough, or we just never play. But you never get, well, you improve, but you improve more whenever you play somebody that's better than you. And West Virginia is significantly better than me. There's a lot of the guys in this dynasty that are better than me. I know Merck's better than me. I beat him the first time we ever played, and I have yet to beat him since. He's better than me. The Italian, me and him are about pretty even. He knows how to beat me, so he's got the advantage there. He knows my weaknesses, but as does pretty much everybody that watches the videos. It's not real complicated, man. I could tell you how to beat me in about 5 minutes. It's not complicated. It's not hard. It's real simple, real easy to do. Not a whole lot to it. So if you want to beat me, you can. And putting up the videos puts me at a disadvantage to some extent because you see what kind of plays I run, how I run them. And that's why typically whenever I play users, I switch it up and run different formations and try different plays because it's something they're not used to seeing. But it typically backfires. It's just something to do, man. This is all fun for me. I would love to win the national championship every year, but sometimes you can't. It is what it is, and I've already got the plans in the works for the reset on how I'm going to structure my team, based off some feedback from you guys. Namely, the guy's names. I'm pretty sure it's Bronzy Teacher. He's been giving me tips throughout the past about probably season or two, as well as I forgot his name. I'm a effing legend, or effing legend, or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it is. He gave me tips throughout the season, which helped me excel in those areas that I did. So I'm going to try to put all that into one on my next team. But as of right now, we are done with training results. The next stage is cut players. So whenever you come back, you will see the final preseason stage. We'll have my recruiting will be done. I probably won't show it. Maybe, I don't know, since it doesn't really matter this year. The schedules I will show and stuff like that. But as of right now, we are done with training results. See you guys in a little bit. All right, we are into the preseason of our final season before the reset 2020. We're number 4 to start the season. We can kind of cheat the system and see where everybody's at. North Carolina ranked number 2, Louisville 23, West Virginia 18, Missouri number 6, Michigan State number 5, Southern Miss and Mid Tennessee State are not ranked. Number 12 for Stanford, number 13 for LSU, number 13, number 3, number 1 for Florida, and not ranked Tennessee. Almost everybody's ready. I'm technically about 15 minutes early, but we've had like 4 days to do this. So like the day that I got to this point, West Virginia was like, hey dude, why not just give everybody a day, since we're resetting. Most people aren't going to do the recruiting and stuff. Some people still will. I know the Italian's doing his video, so make sure you check those out if you want to see how he recruits, his mentality, what he does every time. I'm not going to go that in depth. I will show my board this season because same reason, we're resetting, so what's the point? If people want to steal these recruits, what's the point in doing it? You know what I mean? If you want to see a more in-depth one on how I recruit, I'm going to have one come out from my offline dynasty at the end of that season. And it's going to break down essentially a week by week at what I do. It's going to be all weeks what I do. It's going to be a little long, but give you a little insight into what my mind thinks and how it works. So as far as my recruiting board, I'm fairly positive I still have my board set. I did this right after the advance. Typically, that's what I do initially right off the bat. I'm going a little different this time on how I recruit. I'm not putting the board how I usually do. I'm just going after whatever the heck I want to see what I can get. I go by the people that are scouted. Can I see the people that no. So I can't sort by people that are scouted, but there's a couple of guys that I'm looking at, seeing if I can get. I would love to see people that have scouted. I mean, look at this outside linebacker. It's 81 overall. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I can get that guy. He's gonna be pretty nice. Pretty nice. Not that it's gonna matter, but it would be nice regardless. Middle linebacker. That's a +3. It's a 76. Pretty quick. I'll take that. Good tackling. Defensive tackle. It's 76. Most of the guys I did scout were my defensive line and linebackers, because that's something I need to improve on, as well as my offensive line. But for me, recruiting offensive line is extremely difficult, and I don't know why. And typically, the computer hops on those guys extremely quick and signs them really fast, and I have the hardest time getting them. I mean, look at this guy. 92 overall. Speed. Heck yeah. I'll take a speedy running back. 90 corner. Pretty good press. Pretty good man coverage. Pretty good zone. They're not great, but not bad either. Defensive tackles that are like 80. That guy's slow as all get out, but he's fast and or not fast, but he's strong, and he can get off the block and he can make a tackle, which is what I want. I want somebody that's going to get off the block and make something happen. And I think I mentioned it. A couple of guys have been giving me some tips throughout the season last year. I think it's I'm an effing legend, and dang it, a guy, Bronzy Teacher on Xbox. He's been sending me a couple of messages and stuff. So I'm gonna try to point that out when I can. I mean, look at this dude: 80 plus 6, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, 90 agility. Press is a little iffy, but 85 man coverage, 88 play recognition. This dude would be amazing to have as a freshman. Same thing for this guy: fast. Good man coverage, pretty good press. Block shedding is garbage, but other than that, he's a pretty good dude. And I got a couple other people that I still need to scout, but it is what it is. This season's kind of it's gonna be a fun season for me, man. I'm looking forward to it, and I will show you why. Checking out the schedules for everybody. I'm not gonna show my depth chart. I'll save that for week 1 because I have a bye week. My first game of the season was a much requested game, myself and the Italian. We haven't played each other since we're both in the SEC. I'm pretty sure. Maybe after we changed schools, Northwestern, Oklahoma State, but it's been a long time since we played each other. I was like, you know what? We need to play each other. And then I got West Virginia because I said before, and I'll say it again, I'm going to play this guy every year until I beat him. That's going to be what it is. You can guarantee he will be on my schedule unless he's no longer in the Dynasty, because I want that. I want that for me. Not necessarily for the video's sake or for the series, but for me personally, I want to say I could beat him. And that's going to be a huge thing for me. I might be a little overexcited if it ever does happen. But to me, it'll be well deserved. It's like constantly over and over getting my butt kicked. I'll take a 1 in 10. I'll take those odds. That means there's still a chance. And then I also want to make sure everybody's games are scheduled. And then I also play Merc, which I haven't played in a long time. I think since the last reset, maybe one other time. But I did this on purpose. I gave him almost the last game of the season because it could potentially ruin either of our seasons. And that's what I want to do. I think on the next reset, I'm going to try to disable when the games are played. I don't want them to be locked at certain times of the year, if at all possible. I want to be able to schedule user games towards the end of the year because that could potentially ruin a lot of seasons. But that's my schedule. My 3 non-conference games are all users, but I don't play Stanford this year in conference, so that's how it's going to be. I only got a B+ schedule. Yeah, it is what it is. Florida, he's got a little tougher schedule. He's got Missouri, Tennessee, LSU, all in conference. And then I went ahead and gave him West Virginia because he was the only guy, other than the Italian, that could play West Virginia late in the season. And same reason as I gave myself Merc, the potential for an upset intrigues me. Regardless of who it is, the potential there is going to be huge. And I gave Packers, Rogers, West Virginia, obviously, Notre Dame, and Florida State as a rivalry game. I try not to mess with those if I can. Sometimes I don't have a choice, but I try my best to leave those there. LSU's got Ohio State to start the season. Not really going to help his ranking any, but could help somebody else's, and I gave him Merc because I think it's going to be a good matchup. Then we got Packers, Rogers in conference, and then Heat of Nights, Mid-Tennessee State. I don't know if they played here recently. I do my best to remember, but we've done this for so long. I don't know who's played who, and I get sidetracked way too often. Louisville, he's got Southern Miss and Mid-Tennessee State. I gave him Mid-Tennessee State, even though they both played this past year, because the hardest part for me is figuring out who's going to play who when. And nothing against anybody, but I also try to do it based off their games in the past couple of seasons. So I think this would be a good matchup. Last year, it was a great matchup. I think it'll work out great. And like myself and Merc and the Italian and West Virginia, I think that could be a great matchup, as well as Brian Gators or LSU or anybody like that. I think I can match up pretty good against anybody. So that's why I try to give myself the most games, if at all possible, if I do need to schedule somebody extra. But I also try to make it to where it won't be a lopsided game. I want it to be as close as possible and as good of a game as possible. Yeah, because I want it to be entertaining for everybody that's involved in it. Don't want it to be a blowout one way or the other. But it is what it is sometimes. And this is something that I hate to do, but I don't have a choice sometimes. Giving people user games week 1. I would prefer to give everybody at least a game before they start playing users, but that is also virtually impossible every season. So, sorry, Michigan State and Stanford. Y'all both play week 1, and Michigan State plays week 2, and then week 6. But he's good after that. Nobody else in this conference, so he's got a free shot. And this is one of those times where I would love to be able to give him a user late in the season to potentially ruin his season, but not the case. He's got a real tough schedule also. Mid Tennessee State, I gave him Iowa because Iowa was a really good team. I think it was actually Dr. Duncanstein's team a long time ago, and they're stacked. They're going to be good, and I'm anxious to see how he plays that. I would have given him NC State because that was an old team of his, but that team is glitched. They are no longer in the ACC. I moved them out and replaced them with Notre Dame, I'm pretty sure. I'll double check just to make sure. He's got Southern Miss and LSU. Just got to double check, make sure everybody's games are set. And I also try to give people ranked games. I don't want to give them like FCS West because that's going to be an easy game. For half the people in the Dynasty, that's going to be an easy game. And now Brian Gators requested, I'm pretty sure both of these guys. So he got them. If you request, I'll do my best to make it happen. I also double checked with him to make sure that it was cool if he got more than 4 games. So that's why his is like that. But if you request, I'll do my best to make it happen. Merck's got week 2 and 3, and then myself week 13. And like I said before, I've mentioned it to him. He's mentioned it to me before. He doesn't like a user game or a user game start off, which I don't blame you, man. I don't want it to do that, but I don't have a choice. I can only adjust so many games in the season, and I got to give everybody at least 3 user games. So that's why it is how it is. Southern Miss got Louisville, Mid Tennessee State, Missouri. Pretty good matchup there. Did I leave him in Florida Atlantic? No. That's in his conference. I was like, wait a minute. I just said I give people pretty good teams, and I also try to do it based off region. I figure Mississippi State and Southern Miss would be a good game in the same area. Stanford, Michigan State, West Virginia, then Louisville, and then potentially me for the conference championship if I can make it there. And hopefully it'll be another good game like it was last year. Just a couple of miscues on my part, and we lost that one. Gave Tennessee myself, and he plays Packers Rogers and Brian Gators for his user games. I know he likes to play a lot of users too, and his team is going to be really good this year, and if we were to continue it, his team would be outstanding in the next couple of years, but sadly we are not. Maryland is a rivalry game, so I moved it up to week 1, and then Stanford, myself, and Packers Rogers. Like I said, I wanted to try to make it interesting this year, scheduling wise, to potentially ruin some of the seasons. But that's where we're sitting, man. That's where everybody's at. So we're looking forward to. Oh, well, I was gonna show. I don't know if I can show it actually. No. I was gonna show the conferences, but it's not available right now. But we're ready to start this season, man. Season 8 of this reset of this dynasty. We've gone. This will be season 13 total. We've gone a long time, man. And next year we'll keep on rolling. Keep on rolling, baby, as Limp Bizkit says. But that's going to be it for this episode. We're into season number 8. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.